I've heard a lot of people online talking about how so many like women have like internalized misogyny, right? All those just terms that people throw around on the internet doesn't mean it's not real, but like internalized misogyny, internalized misogyny. And okay, disclaimer, this is not going to be bad, but like, and I always assumed like I wasn't one of those people. Because, right, like when you think of it, you think of like those crazy boy moms, the ones that like get mad when their son is married. Oh, I was my son's first girlfriend. Like the crazy stories you hear, and you don't even know anyone like that. Or like kind of like internalized like homophobia, right? When like there are gay men out there supporting Trump and stuff like that. Well, also, okay, just gay people in general supporting Trump. And you're like, that's kind of ironic, for lack of a better word. And so for internalized misogyny, like I always assumed like I didn't have that. I mean, not as in like, right, like, oh, I don't see color, or like I'm not racist, because like everybody has done something, right? Another term people throw out, microaggressions, right? Everybody's always done that. Not that like, I'm out here throwing around the N-word, but like obviously, I've assumed my doctor wouldn't be black or something, like one time, like, oh, Dr. Killenberger, like, oh my god, that's my actual doctor's name, but like Dr. Smith, right? And then you see like, you picture like a white man, and then it's like a woman or it's a black person, and you're like, oh, I didn't expect that, right? Like, not saying that I've done that specific situation, but like, okay, people do see color, obviously. And so again, I never thought, right, I at least had a lot of misogyny, right? Because it feels cringe to say like I'm a feminist, but like I am. I don't think women are below men. I have been called a misandrist. It's hearsay, right? I was told people were talking shit about me and they called me a misandrist. Or, right, like I'm in a fight with my dad, who is a clear misogynist and literally hates women. He hates me because I'm a woman, among other reasons, but and like I'm arguing with my dad about him being a misogynist, and he calls me a misandrist or something. It's crazy. You should be there. And so I was always like, well, in my mind, I'm always fighting for women's rights, or I'm always on the woman's side. Like I don't have internalized misogyny, right? I hate myself, sure, but it's maybe not because I'm a woman, or maybe I hate myself because, like, I mean, if you want to think about it that way, like, I guess, like, I hated myself because I was a girl, because my dad hated me because I was a girl, right? Like, if I was born a boy, my dad wouldn't hate me. And, like, maybe he wouldn't. And so something I was just thinking about is all these sports events happening, right? I'm seeing it all over Instagram, and I'm like filing everything away into my little collections. I'm like, I just got into hockey like these past couple years, like this past, I don't know, basically this season is when I started being really invested in hockey, right? Like I picked my favorite teams and I was rooting for them, and I went out and I researched all of the terms and all of the people. I have a notebook, right? I made flashcards. I have all of like the players that you need to know. I'm following everyone on Instagram, right? I'm following all the different OHL, QMHL, like NHL, everything. SHO. I'm following all the prospects. I'm following all the people you need to follow on social media, and like I know what I'm talking about at this point. Like, proud to say, like, I'll understand why they pull a goalie in a hockey game, right? So I'm currently, obviously, Game 5 happened last night of Stanley Cup Finals. I'm really invested in Stanley Cup Finals. I'm not a Vegas fan, of course, because I'm a woman, right? Maybe there's something. If you're a woman and you're a Vegas fan, maybe you have internalized misogyny. And I'm not a Canes fan. But honestly, at this point, I am becoming one. I mean, I'm rooting for them just because of Vegas, obviously. And there's NBA Finals, and it's not that I hate basketball, but like I'm mostly invested in number 1, hockey this year, and number 2, baseball, because obviously the hockey season, right, like it started in the fall, and that's when baseball ended, so I became just more invested in hockey than baseball this year. But I love baseball too, right? Like they're both like the greatest games ever played, right? And then third is probably basketball. When you're thinking of major league sports, right? I have other sports that I really like to watch and I like to play and stuff like that. Basketball, right? I don't know, like, I was a band kid. I liked basketball season more than football season, I guess. Maybe it was because I was indoors. And, like, my brother likes basketball, so fourth, I would say, is football because I hate football. I think maybe being a band kid ruined it. But I'm thinking about all these things, about all these sports, and, you know, there's this whole discussion going on about women in sports. That includes women viewers in sports, too, right? And so more people are watching women's sports, and I think that's great. And I just realized today, when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, does this make me different than other girls? Like, almost in a pick-me kind of way, but at least I'm keeping it in my mind. Well, I'm until now, but, like, I was keeping it inside. I was like, I feel like I'm the only person that knows about hockey. Like, I don't see anyone else. I never saw anyone else at school talking about hockey. Like, I mean, some of the girls would, like, talk about football, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're a girl and you know football. Why am I so surprised? Can girls not like football? This is what I'm talking about. Maybe I do have internalized misogyny, because why am I surprised to find out that a girl likes football? Just because guys play? No. Women play football too. There is I forget the initials, right? Right? You have NFL, but then it's like for women, I forget what it's called. Sorry, I'm like checking outside. And like, why am I surprised? Or like when the girls at school are talking about March Madness, right? I think they're being just as performative as me, because I've never cared about basketball until it's March Madness, because all of a sudden everybody's talking about it. And you know what? Maybe I am kind of invested. But also, it's kind of just those temporary things. Like, you don't have to be a basketball fan to be involved in March Madness, because it's like a once-a-year kind of thing, right? Trying to make yourself be invested and keep track of the whole season takes so much time. But if it's just March Madness, which is actually April Madness, so I don't really know why they say March Madness, it's just so much easier to keep track of. And so, continuing to the point of this video, which is me talking about me realizing maybe I do have internalized misogyny, is, again, right? I'm like, am I almost better? Like, I feel like nobody else, no other girls like hockey that I talk to, and it's not that I'm looking down on them because they don't like hockey, like, I'm better than you, but why is that? There are plenty of other hockey fans, right? Like, what? I go on Jack Hughes' Instagram page, and I think I'm still following him. Sorry, guys. And there's, like, other girls from school that are following him, and I'm like, why are they following him? They must be following him because of the Olympics, because people only pay attention to the Olympics. That's fine, bro, because I only pay attention to basketball when it's March Madness, or, right now, the NBA Finals. So what's wrong with them only following hockey when it's the Olympics? Maybe they got into it because of the Olympics, and what's not to like about Jack Hughes before the thing, obviously. He's still a great player, obviously. Just thinking about his situation. And so, right now I'm invested in the Cup Finals. The NBA Finals, kind of. I don't actually watch it live, but, like, love what's happening on Instagram, the community that's forming, you know? And FIFA World Cup is starting, and so I'm getting everything on Instagram is making me just so invested. And there's just so many things in sports happening right now. Calder Cup Finals, today's Friday, right? The 12th, June 12th. So, Calder Cup Finals are happening today, right? Oh my God, the Marlies versus the Wolves. And I don't know. I'm just thinking about all these sports, and I was like, and it's like I only got into these sports, like, recently, right? And I'm like, why have I waited my whole life to allow myself to be sports fans like this? Like, sports are for everyone. Major league sports are for everyone. Like, maybe I'm missing the point, but, I mean, part of my argument that sports was just one part of it. Another thing is, like, Marvel. Or, like, Star Wars. Like, I'm getting all this Marvel stuff and Star Wars stuff, like, on my social media, like, over the past few months, and I've become, I hate saying invested over and over again, but, like, I'm low on vocabulary right now, so I've just become so much more interested in these things, and for some reason, for a really long time in my life, probably since, I don't know, when I stopped caring about Star Wars. I watched one of the oh my god, what is it called? The third trilogy, like when it came out in the 2010s, right? Like I watched like the 2017 or 2019 movie or something. But after that, right, like in high school and middle school, like I didn't care about Star Wars, and I actually like I was like, nope, I don't watch Star Wars. And for some reason, like I almost said it in a way that's like I'm better because I don't care about Star Wars. But then I watched the real first three movies with my dad, with my family, and I was like, what's wrong with Star Wars? Like, there's no way that I chose not to like or follow Star Wars because, like, what, my dad didn't like Star Wars? Maybe it's internalized misogyny. And I've just thought about this today, guys. And I was like, is it because, oh, Star Wars, right, sci-fi is only for guys. Action movies are only for guys, right? Like, if you're thinking about Marvel. But me, as a girl, I always loved Marvel. And my childhood was the typical, like, my brother got the Marvel Legos, and he got the DC figurines, and yeah, I got the Barbies and the Shopkins, and I liked them, and I didn't really play with the boy toys, but I don't know. Why did it take me 18 years to think about this? And could all this stuff, right, like me being interested in sports, major fan of sports, Marvel, Star Wars, DC, stuff like that, just because that stuff is just really relevant right now, and I'm just becoming so interested in these things that I'm like, where has it been all my life? I can't believe I missed the incredible experience of these things, or it's probably internalized misogyny, yeah. So I encourage you guys to go out and wonder what you have chosen not to like for no reason. Do you also not like Star Wars? Why? Because if you watch the movies, they're incredible. And if you read the books, which I'm planning on doing, I'm a big read the book before watch the movie person, but with Star Wars, like, it's just how things go. You're bound to watch the movies before you read the books. I'm going to read the books. I'm going to read the comics. I'm going to get the Lego sets. And if you whatever it is, if it's not Star Wars or Marvel or DC, I don't know, Pokemon. If you spent your entire life choosing to dislike Pokemon without ever playing it, watching it, playing the card game or the video games, why? Because you think you're not allowed to because you're a girl? You may not realize that you were thinking that, like me. And it's not like now I'm going to try to make it a point to research stereotypical boys things and make myself like them. But I'm just going to try to keep like such an open mind about everything. Right? Like, why was my brother the first to be introduced to Yu-Gi-Oh? Right? Like, going off the topic of like Pokemon and card games, like stuff. Why was my brother the one that got into Yu-Gi-Oh first and got all the figurines? Or like, Beyblades and stuff like that. He's younger than me. Maybe not that much younger, but like my brother's younger than me. You would think like, oh, Ellie, like her personality really fits with something with like you think she would be interested in these things. And it's like my family isn't, well, except for my dad, obviously, but most of my family members are, you wouldn't automatically think are like misogynistic, and maybe they don't realize it either, right? My family members are like Gen X, right? Not baby boomers, but like, and everybody, you would think, oh my gosh, hold on. You look at these family members and you would just think, oh, they're traditional, right? They're going to get they hear you're having a baby girl, they're going to get you pink. They hear you're going to have a baby boy, they're going to give you blue stuff. What? And like, that's fine. But is it? Like, maybe there's no such thing as reading too much into things, but like, get the Beyblades for a girl first. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I feel like kids these days don't even play with action figures anymore. They're just, I don't know about you guys, but yeah, if Yu-Gi-Oh ever makes its way back, Tell it to the girls first. Because let me tell you, once I found out about Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon and Nintendo, I was more invested in it than my brother. Okay? Because I loved playing the card games. I loved learning about everything. I loved playing these games. I never got a Nintendo. I went straight to an Amazon Kindle for like my 9th birthday. And I was given a lot of books. My brother, once he finally got books, was an avid book reader. And once I was finally able to convince him to read Harry Potter, he loved Harry Potter, Keeper of the Lost Cities, stuff like that. So why was I given books first? Why aren't we given books at the same time? Because there are books for girls and books for boys, and it shouldn't actually be like that, but I would have loved to get a Nintendo Switch. My brother got a Nintendo Switch when he was like 8, and then he got another one. Wouldn't give me the old one. He had a DS first, then he had a Switch, then he had a second Switch, then he got a PS5. He also had a Wii when he was younger. He got all of this technology. And I got an Amazon Kindle. Yes, for like, so you can read, but like that costs money. So I played games and stuff. Go play freaking Candy Crush on your tablet while your brother literally gets to play video games. And this was in the 2010s. Like, this was peak video games. Like, the Nintendo Switch was crazy. The PS5 was crazy. I never got any of that. Oh, my uncle's home. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Thanks for listening, guys.